Hopefully finishing their pieces before someone melts.
Yeah, the Iceman. Big Al is out there live in Sacramento with more on the street spectacular.
Did you find any of your favorites?
Ooh.
Hey, you know what? I got a couple of favorites here in just a couple of seconds. A few panels down here. This stretch is actually pretty cool. I'm digging the bird right there. It's really nice. So lots of different expressions of artistic greatness here at Chalk It Up here at Fremont Park. And I'm hanging with one of the OGs, one of the originators. Is Dee Neath, a.k.a. Dee, the art lady. How you doing?
I'm doing well on this warm day.
Yeah, so the first question, I gotta get out the way. How do you keep the chalk drawings safe in all this heat?
What we do is we wet the sidewalk and we actually work the chalk down into the sidewalk. Oh. So you can see on the bird, and you can see Joe's over there using water. He's laying down water, and then he runs the chalk over the top and mixes it into the sidewalk. It's hard on the hands, but it keeps it on the sidewalk and people can walk on it.
Oh, wow.
Ride over it, and it stays for days.
Perfect. I see. That's really good. I love the many techniques you guys have for chalk drawings and all that.
After 30 years, I think we've discovered quite a few.
Oh yes. So tell me about this. We're talking off air. You've originated a lot of things. Obviously, Chalk It Up. Second Saturday. You've done everything here. But talk about how this whole thing started.
This whole thing started with about 4 or 5 friends who had seen a chalk festival. I think it was in Santa Barbara. And we decided to do it originally in Cesar Chavez Park. Okay. And it was originally a benefit for Galleria Posada. And about 4 or 5 years later, it just kind of exploded and we moved to this park. And it just gets bigger every year. I don't think 30 years ago any of us would have thought it was going to be this big.
You guys only started with like 5 artists and a few chalk drawings.
Yeah, I think there were 25 squares the first year.
Wow.
And now there's, 200. So it's a lot of sponsors and a lot of work. And it took a while for people to catch on to the idea, especially the artists, that you were going to spend 3 days creating something that was only going to be visible for like 4 or 5 days tops.
Especially the city, you're like, y'all want to do what?
Yeah,
where?
That was a hard one to explain. Explaining that, no, it'll come off the sidewalks. They do come through a couple days after Chalk It Up, and they power wash the sidewalks. So these do absolutely disappear off the sidewalks.
Have you ever thought that after all these years and seeing it develop over time, that it turned into a magnificent event?
I never imagined. In the first couple of festivals, we actually made all the food, and we were begging vendors to come in. And now, here we got Cousin's Lobster here.
They just backed up right here, like, oh.
I never associated Chalk It Up with lobster. I would have never 30 years ago.
Hey, lobster goes with anything. Let me just say that it goes with all of it. So hey, lots of live performances here, lots of chalk drawings, not only on the perimeter, but inside the park as well.
Oh yeah, and you can bring your kids down, and there's a free chalk area for the children. Okay. So when they get inspired, and it's in the shade, when they get inspired, they can do their own little masterpiece.
Hey, so bring the family, bring the kids, get underneath the misters, stay hydrated. They got giant hydration stations back over here, as well as you get some shave ice.
Well, and all these trees, almost, I'd say more than half the park is totally in the shade.
Absolutely.
So it's not a bad place to be on a hot day.
Not too shabby. If you're going to be out in the heat, be here for Chalk It Up. Just come on through, bring the family, absolutely free to come in, and maybe you might have a little space to draw a little artistic creation of your own right here at Fremont Park, here in downtown Sacramento. I'm kind of looking at the lobster truck and getting it home. I know. Hey, back over to you guys.
You get it all down there at the park. Thank you, Big Al. Go check them out and support all of the local artists. Well.